Roll call, please.
Brzezowski.
Here.
Duff. Leghorn.
Here.
Minnelli.
Here.
Thorne.
Here.
Morongo. Tupper.
Here.
Can I get a motion to dismiss Council Liaison Mark Duff and Member Mitch Tarango? They both will not be in attendance. I have a second by Bonnie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving on. Correspondence, we don't have anything. I'll read this in. I know we have something on here. I'll read this in during the meeting. Approval of the ZBA minutes from March last month. Anything, any concerns? If not, I'll take a motion.
Yeah, they just spelled Brandon's name wrong, was all.
Who's that?
Brandon's name is spelled wrong at the top, but the minutes are fine.
Blame his parents. Wrong on the birth certificate. We're just going to call you Braden from now on.
No.
No? All right, so let's put that on the record to make sure we get his spelling correctly. I did not see that, but thanks for pointing that out.
The
Any-
very upper top.
Yeah, at the very
Yes,
top.
I
Yeah,
just
that came
noticed
from
it.
upstairs. What's the correct spelling?
Brandon, Brandon. Missing the N.
Drop an N between the A and the D. Anything else from anybody? If not, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Aaron, second by, we'll call him Brandon instead of Braden. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? No good? I know Kathy, you weren't here, so. Were you here? You weren't there.
I wasn't either.
Okay, so you two abstain from those two votes. All right, so we have one case tonight.
The minutes.
Yep. So ZBA case 24-735, Mike and Mary Jo, and I apologize if I screw this up, Baywall? Thank you. 350 Oak Island, Wolverine Lake, Michigan. Basis for the appeal, 1250.06, subsection A. Setback from the property line, R1 LF requires a 25-foot front yard setback. Applicant proposes a 5-foot setback to the street for a new home construction. Additionally, R1-LF requires a 35-foot lakefront setback, 30.42 feet and 22.72 feet lakefront setbacks are provided to reconstruct a new home, and a 12.86-foot setback is provided to add a raised deck to the proposed home. I'll take a motion to open the case.
Motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
It looks like you have somebody that's going to speak on your behalf, I assume, your architect?
Yes.
Okay.
Not an architect, no, builder.
Builder, okay, very good. Name, address, and if you could go over the project in detail of how this fits and why it won't fit within our, criteria, that'd be great.
Sure. Mark Guidabono Senior with Cambridge Homes. With my son Mark, we're representing Mary Jo and Mike today. They purchased this lot, I believe, a couple of years ago, was it?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, and it was their goal to live on a beautiful lake, on that beautiful site. Their goal was to tear down the home and start a new home. In this case, once they got into it and we looked at the foundation for them, the foundation itself is crumbling on this particular home. In our opinion, it has to be torn down. And we do have pictures, and we could all go over there and take a look as well. But the foundation is crumbling, so we feel that's a hardship for a renovation situation. The other thing that's unusual about this site, it has a very small footprint. It's very narrow once you factor in all the setbacks. So it virtually makes the lot almost unbuildable. So for these two reasons, we feel it's a hardship. And it forces anybody who's going to build, they would have to encroach into the setbacks. And so we, and here I have a little board that I think that you got provided this picture as well. And it kind of shows the existing house in relationship to the new proposed house, where we have improved the setback situation in front. Actually, the steps are encroaching into the right-of-way outside the lot on the current house. And the current house, actually, corner is right on the property line. One thing we did notice today when we were out there, and we ran into one of the board members, the two front stakes are not staked accurately in the front of the house. Appears to me, when we investigated this today, that the front right stake was about 10 foot closer to the road than it should have been. And the one on the left-hand side front was about 15 foot closer to the road than it should have been, based on my visual observation. The rear two stakes look more accurate to me when I walk the site. How accurate, I'm not exactly sure, but they seem to be fairly close in the proximity as to what the survey says.
Did the surveyor stake this, or did you guys stake this yourselves?
The surveyors did.
Very good.
So the surveyors made the mistake, and it appears to us, and it really is, the mistake I see is on the front two corners.
Okay,
So you should be aware of that.
thank you.
So this home does have to be torn down because of the foundation. And here is a sample of the site plan, basically showing the new proposed house on the site. And this stake here is the one that was shown on this side of that tree right there. There's a tree right there, and there's a stake on this side of the tree. So that's, we assumed about 15 feet, maybe a little bit farther forward than it should have been over here.
Okay,
And this stake here was up about 10 foot closer than it should be. And I based that off my visual on the curve, which
Okay.
is shown right here. So that corner looks like 25 feet and from the curb.
okay,
But looks to me about 15 when I do a visual at this site.
that's fine.
So that's something that we noticed before we got to this meeting today. We assumed the surveyor would have staked it properly, but,
Well, you know what they say about assume, right?
yeah, so the front two stakes are off.
That's fine.
And,
You know, the design is, we can understand what it's like, you know, and we can, sometimes stakes get moved accidentally, so, you know, we're good with that. Do you guys want to see this? Do you guys want to have them to pass this around, or are you good with what you've got?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Okay. And the home that's being proposed, I have a elevation here to show you what it will look like. It's an attractive home. I'd call this a story and a half, so that means most of the second floor is under roof. As you can see here, this is second story area, but it's mostly covered by roof. We're a full two-story. The roof would start up here and go up from here. This is a story and a half, so you got more living area right in this part of the home. So that's what we call basically a wing colonial. You
Yep.
got to step down on both sides, and the higher portion here in the center.
It's a pretty house.
But it kind of gives you that traditional Great Lake house with a lot of glass in the back of the home.
Okay.
More glass in the back than in the front, so
Sure.
it'd be similar materials, very dramatic.
Okay,
home.
yeah, very nice, very well designed.
And happy to answer
Oh,
any.
ma'am, hold it, I will get to you.
I'm sorry.
We'll get,
No, I just want to.
I will get to you. He's here first. But then I'm going to open up to public, so you can ask us questions, and then I can ask him the question.
I understand,
Okay.
sorry.
You're good, you're fine. Go ahead, sorry.
So this is what we're proposing today, and as stated, our hardship is foundation. This home is not structurally sound at all, and that foundation's got to be torn out. This house will have to be torn down, no question about it. And the footprint area is really so small that you really can't put a structure without encroaching into the setbacks. You just can't do it.
Right.
So it's just a matter of finding that right balance, front to back. Usually, people are more sensitive about the back when you're on a lake, and less sensitive on the front. And it's just finding that right balance that the board and everybody's comfortable with, and we tried to do that here. And we did improve the front yard setback for what's existing right there, right now.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Okay, excellent, thank you. Would you folks like to add anything on what your builder talked about?
No, we're just hoping it works out.
I just need your name and address, please. Sorry.
You want me to go up there?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
All right, I'm Mike Baywell, this is my wife, Mary Jo. You know, we've had the house almost 2 years, and we didn't expect to run into the problems that we ran into, but we're kind of anxious. The house we're in right now, we built 43 years ago, so I'm in my retirement stage. Most of my family lives out here, so we're really close to family.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just, you know, hopefully it works out. We're anxious to get started. but
Sure.
It's gonna be a nice house.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Okay.
Beautiful.
Ma'am, anything? You don't, would you like to add anything that your husband discussed or your builder? You can if you want, or you don't have to.
We're just very anxious to get this going, and we hope it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Definitely more beautiful than what's there.
True.
And just hoping this all works.
Okay, thank you. And then, I'm sorry, can you give us your name and address for the record, please?
Your name and address.
What's that?
Name and address.
Name and address.
Your name and address.
Oh, Mary Baywall, 18, where I live now.
Yes.
18011 Park Ridge Drive, Riverview, Michigan.
Thank you. All right. How about this guy? You want to add anything, or did your dad do a good job?
Is that still on the table?
Yes, it is.
So the homeowners would like to volunteer their house to let the fire department use it for training or some kind of exercises before the demolition happens. If
Okay.
or they'd like to do
I
it.
think we'd have to go through Commerce for that, right? Because I don't think Wixom, well, I guess they would if they have to, but I think Commerce would be our first
No,
call.
it's Commerce.
I had talked to Jim Dundas, is it? The chief?
I don't know, yeah.
Anyway, he's anxious. He wanted to come in December, and I says, we can't touch the house till we get, if we get the bearings. So-
Don't burn it till we approve it, so relax. Yeah, no, I get it.
He's aware, they're very anxious because
Sure.
they have no training on the island.
Oh, okay.
Originally, we wanted to do a controlled burn, and he investigated that, and it's, the wires, there's too many.
It's too close to
Yeah,
everything, yeah.
It can't be done, so they're just gonna use it for training for all the rookies.
Just as long as it's coordinated with the village and the village PD
Yeah. Oh,
is
yeah,
aware
he-
of what's
yeah,
happening,
they've got a
so.
specific,
Yep.
Yeah, that's not something we would ever, we
Right.
could approve even if we wanted to, so.
But that's nice of you.
Yeah.
But we're not just
Absolutely.
gonna tear it down, we're gonna, you know, the community will get some benefit from it.
Okay, that's great, excellent. Okay, so if there's nothing else, at this point, I'm going to open to the public for who want to speak on behalf. That means you're happy with what they're proposing, but you may have a question. Yes, ma'am. Name and address, please.
My name's Colleen Milligan.
She's okay.
I'll speak louder.
Yeah, you can.
My name is Colleen Milligan. I live at 2600 Oakview. I'm back from that, right
Okay.
across the water.
All right.
Second house in off the bridge.
Yep.
Towards Glengarry.
Okay.
I don't have any comment. I was really hoping to come tonight to meet my new neighbors. This is the main reason I came. And also
You weren't at the party?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, sorry.
No, all the other neighbors were there. And I wanted to see the picture, which is not anything that you, so is there another point to this where I could ask to see the picture, or is this? an
You can
open
see it right
time
now.
to do it? I was just anxious to see it.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank
We
you.
just have, those procedures that we have to follow.
No, and I understand, I've not come before, and
Sure.
that's part of the reason why I came, because I thought, well, I might as well come and see what's going on. And I'm Colleen Milligan.
Did you have any questions on what they're proposing to do?
I read what you sent out, which talks about all the setbacks and everything, but this is what I was really interested in, and this is beautiful. Now, this is the front
Yes, ma'am.
elevation, what is the back like? What am I gonna do?
Well, the back is going to be looking at the lake.
And I'm gonna be looking at their back.
Oh, that's right, based on your house. That I don't know. I don't have an elevation of that.
Do you Do you guys all have?
We don't
something
have
like
that, no, ma'am.
Oh, really?
No, I'm sorry, I
Well,
don't. We don't even have that.
Okay, but it's great, if you don't have it, I just assumed
Yep.
that there'd be beautiful pictures. So,
Yep.
that's what,
Okay.
thank you.
You're welcome now. Anybody else in the audience that would like to speak on behalf? Yes, sir. Name and address, please. And if you'd like to come up, that's great. If you'd like to speak there, you're good. Just speak loud, please.
Dean McQuaid, 207 Oak Island. I'm here just to say that I came in to see your plans. I actually went to the village office to see them earlier. I've been on the island now 30 years. I built 204 Oak Island. I also renovated 207 where I'm at. I know about the setbacks. I know that the hardships are, and I think that it will be a great addition to the island.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Graham Britton, 281 Oak Island. I'd also like to see the picture. I didn't catch it up there.
Sure.
Okay, I'm in favor of this.
We sold you, huh?
Yeah, I live on an island, I had all kinds of setbacks, built on the island, love to see the progress.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming in. I don't see anybody else in the audience, so I will close to the public, open to the board for questions not only amongst ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more. Sorry. Can I have that, please? Charles J. Baylog, 2532 Oakview Drive, Wolverine Lake, Michigan, regarding ZBA case 24-735. I'm writing this, I'm in favor of waiving the current restrictions to allow for the construction of the Baywell's residence as per their submitted plans. The current structure at 350 Oak Island, as does the structure at 330, along with several others, failed to meet current restrictions, and I see no reason to disrupt the symmetry of the street by enforcing elongated restrictions. As the current home provides the primary view out my front window, I'd love to see the abandoned site to be replaced with an inhabited new structure. Signed, Charles J. Bailey, Village of Wolverine. He dropped this off the Village of Wolverine, April 9th, 2024. I will include that with my turn-in. So I think that's the only one we had, is it correct? I don't see another one. So at this point, it's up to us to ask questions. Obviously, has everyone been to the site, I assume? You know, we're getting rid of, you know, not the prettiest house on the block. And obviously, we're adding a really nice structure. I think, well, some of us have been on the board when we talked about Oak Island. Some of you haven't. It is a very difficult island to build on. There's a lot of road right-of-way issues that we've had to deal with. And if you actually look at the buildability of this lot, and I'll refer to our building inspector as well, it would be a really difficult house to actually hit all the earmarks and try to say, we're gonna stick in with all these criteria that we normally have on a lake house. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's more than one lakefront, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a challenge on that street. May not have been the best design street back in the day, but, you know, we have to deal with what's there now. And, you know, looking at a house like that, I always talk about new construction, being that I'm in the real estate field myself. Taking down old and building new, the Village of Wolverine is technically still a business. I mean, we pay for stuff based on a tax base, and so does Oakland County. This is going to provide, no offense, Bay Walls, but Mr. Bay, it is what it is. The property taxes on this house is going to be considerably more than what they are currently paying now. And we are getting rid of a not so attractive house, and based on that elevation right there, they're going to be adding another gem to our village. And if you look at what's happened around our lake over the last, I mean, I've been here since 1997. When it started to what it is now, it's not the same lake. You know, the older homes like what they have now are being torn down quite a bit. And, you know, this is kind of what's nice to replace it. Because again, not only are we improving the lake, improving the site plan, but we're also improving the financial ability of the village to be able to pay our bills by, you know, being able to raise taxes because they're building a new house. So, but again, that's not the reason why we approve stuff, but it is something to think about as we're talking this through. It is a really hard lot. I've looked at this specifically. It is hard to build a house and say, I'm going to hit all the marks up. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, but I'm good.
Are we doing the checklist more than once, or is it just straight through for all three?
Miss Attorney, what would you like me
I'm
to do?
afraid,
Or is it more than three?
there are, there's just three.
Just three,
I
okay.
believe. Yeah, best practice to do all three separate because they are separate. Although the one is, it's got the two for the rear. I'm not, or lakefront, oh, because there are two separate lakefronts, correct?
Yeah, so we're
Yep,
doing
yep.
the 5-footer.
So yes,
We're doing the averaging of the lakefront, which is the 30.42,
yeah.
right?
This is the 22.
And then the other side would be the 22.
No, I take that back. The 5-foot, the 30.42 is the lakefront. We have 2 lakefront setbacks
Actually, yeah, and a deck.
and the deck for 12.6.
So you're correct.
There's the
actually
30.42.
Yeah, we have 3 lakefront setbacks
here.
and then the, yeah, so we're gonna have 3 in the
And one
back.
here, one here. Here's the deck with the 12
Yeah,
foot.
there's the deck.
So 4.
And one here.
One front, 3 back.
Oh, and then the front one, up here we have 5, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 foot. Yeah.
Remind me what the, I know that there's been some changes recently to the zoning around pool structures, but what is the required setbacks for that, or requirements around
Accessory
it?
unit, so it's gonna follow the accessory unit setbacks.
For a
I believe,
pool?
isn't
Right.
it? I think we just
I
voted
can-
on that on planning. Was
I don't know.
that?
Right, I just can't remember.
From the lake?
What it ended up at, I think it was
The
going.
lake
in-
is
that was still
20,
there.
what would?
The lake would be 25.
25.
Yeah,
25.
25. So from,
So it's like 14.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
agree
lot.
with that.
Good catch. That's not us.
Not right now.
Yeah, I mean, we just really have to concentrate on what they're asking for. I noticed that on the
Okay.
pool as well.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no pool
I mean-
request, so.
So
It's an
maybe,
in-ground pool too, so it's not above the 18 inches. So that makes a difference as far as the setback.
I think it's
Not
still,
to me.
I think it's still 25.
But-
from
Yeah,
lakefront.
I agree. Yeah.
technically, you're supposed to be at 25, and this is 18. So
Yeah.
do you want us to include
If
this?
it's not before us, I don't know.
I don't know if
why
it's not really
Yeah.
before us, so it's not something that was caught through the village.
No, I don't think we should include that. The other-
What I also don't want to do is tie them up, trip them up down the road either.
I guess I wasn't aware that there was an issue with the pool setback since it wasn't.
Well, technically on this paper, it's not. Since we're here and we know that it is, do we deal with it or do we?
Do we know that it is? Is it?
Well, it's 25,
We have
so-
to-
25.
And this
there's
says it's
not-
18.
There's 16,
Or what is it,
14.
It's 13 here and 16
17.
here.
Yeah, so 16 and 14, do we deal with it or do we just let it go?
No, we cannot,
Can't let them go. I
We-
think they would have to do a separate area.
we cannot,
You're right.
has not been posted and.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine. So with the pool, you may have to talk to the, depending on what happens here tonight, you may want to talk to the village tomorrow. Give it a couple days, let the paperwork process, and then find out what you want to do in regards to this pool. Because technically, you're supposed to be a 25-foot setback, you're not at that. I'm not saying there's going to be a problem, I'm saying that there is a problem. But we can't vote on this because legally we didn't advertise this. And you're supposed to advertise all of the things that we're talking about tonight, all these different setbacks, and those are 2 things that we did not. So it might be, unfortunately, it might be a situation where if, and I just said if, this gets approved tonight, this might be something you have to come back and talk about the pool. Does that make sense?
That's okay.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, if you guys are ready, we can go through our checklist. Okay, agree or disagree that the special or unique conditions and circumstances exist which are peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, and which are not generally applicable to other land, structures, or buildings in the same district.
What are we doing first?
We are
Wanna
going
do the
to
5
do the 25-foot setback, and they're proposing a 5.
Okay, so the 5 foot. Yeah, the
So
five.
we're gonna do 4 different votes.
Yep.
This is front yard.
This is,
Front yard, so this is the
Yes.
5-foot setback. Okay, so, what do we think here? Agree or disagree, these special unique conditions and circumstances exist? Obviously, we see the issues that they have on the street. We see how small that technically the building envelope is. Do we agree with this?
I agree.
agree.
Okay. Okay, does anybody disagree with this? So we have 6 agreeing, and why are we agreeing?
Because of the shape of the lot.
Shape of the lot, and then the unique building envelopes that are on Oak Island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And unique land shape.
2 lakefronts.
We're not there yet.
Oh.
We're gonna get there, though. All right. Number 2, agree or disagree that the literal interpretation of provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicants of rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district under the same zoning terms, and the variance is the minimum necessary. Again, this is just the 5-foot setback.
I agree.
I agree.
Does anybody disagree with that? And could we say we're agreeing with that because of also similar reasoning behind question 1?
Yes.
And I'd like to put on there as well of existing houses that are on that street also crowd the street as well.
They're actually improving it based on what's there.
Right, I was just gonna call that out too, that they're actually improving it based on what's currently there.
Improving current. Number 3, agree or disagree, the special condition and circumstances do not result from the actions of the applicant, they are not self-created. Well, I mean, they've obviously created these issues because they're choosing to build a house. So I will not agree with that. Does anybody agree with that? Now, they do have a difficult lot, but they are creating the 5-foot. I mean, technically, they could build a house and it could be 10 feet. But again, my scenario is they're the ones coming in asking for the 5 feet. They've created the plan.
I still think, I actually agree because the current house is not livable due to the foundation. So I think that, I would still agree that these aren't the results from their situation. The house that was built there is in disrepair.
Right, but what they're proposing, the question states, what they're proposing is, and this is always the one that kind of unfortunately trips up most applicants, is what they're proposing, they're causing the issue. So are they causing the issue of being 5 feet? Could they be 10 feet? Could they be 7 feet? Depending if they change their floor plan.
Right.
That's kind of the meaning behind the question. I know what you're saying, but we have to not worry about what's there, we have to worry about what they're building, and what they're building, are they causing this problem? Which technically they are, because they're the ones proposing to build this specific house on this specific lot. Does that make better sense?
But if they
I
pushed
probably
it
didn't
further
explain it
from
right.
the road, it would encroach on the
Well, they could
rear
just make a smaller house.
waterfront.
Sure.
Or you can, you know, not saying that they should, I'm just saying this
Yeah.
is what it is.
I agree. Yes.
And it'll be the same scenario with the other 3 questions too, is anybody wanting to build on a lot like this, it doesn't mean that they can't build, but they're causing the issue because they want to build a house that doesn't fit in this envelope. I mean, could you build a house that fits in the envelope? I guess technically you could. It would be like a mobile home, but you could. It wouldn't be a house that I think someone's going to invest this kind of money into.
30-foot high rise.
So what do we think? Do we all agree, do we all disagree that they've caused the issue?
Yes.
Or, agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Give me a second. This is my writing arm, and I write much slower these days. Agree or disagree, the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the ordinance. I will agree with that based on what we've approved before based on this street, because it is such a challenge to build on this street with the setbacks that there are.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
Does anybody disagree? Agree or disagree, the variance will be not injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the general welfare. I think we can all agree with that, correct?
Agree.
And number 6, agree or disagree that the spirit of this ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, and substantial justice done.
Agreed.
Does anybody disagree with that? Okay, so that's just going to be for this one, so we're going to take a vote on just this one. Is that what you want to do?
5-foot setback, right?
On just the 5-foot setback. Dan, is that what you want?
Yes, yep.
All right, so we get a vote, please.
Rosowski.
Oh, hold
Can you make a
on,
motion?
hold on, I'm sorry,
First, right?
strike that. Can we do a motion just for that particular part of this, basis of the appeal? Aaron, you look fired up, so I'm gonna let you do it.
I motion to approve the 5-foot
Nope,
set.
you have to say ZBA case, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, motion to approve ZBA case 24-735, basis for appeal 1250.06, subset A, the 5-foot setback for the front yard.
Number 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Cool. We have a motion. I will second the motion. Any conversation on the motion? We'll take a roll call on the motion, please.
Rosowski,
Yes?
Claiborne,
Yes.
Minoletti,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes?
Pepper,
Yes.
Good? Yeah.
Am I voting on this?
Yeah, Kathy.
Corrado.
Yes, Kathy is voting because, yes, you are voting because we are missing
First
missing
time as
Mitch.
alternate.
So-
Yes. Sorry.
We called you out of the bullpen. You're in. All right, so the next one we're going to do is going to be the 35-foot lakefront setback is 30.42. You want us to do both of those together because there's two lakefront setbacks, the 30.42 and the 22.72?
No, because they're two separate
Okay, all right.
requests.
So we're just going to do the 30.42 setback on this one. Does that make sense?
I know it's tedious, but.
It's all right, whatever. Yeah. Okay, so same thing. We're going to go through the checklist. Agree or disagree that special or unique conditions and circumstances exist or peculiar to the land, structure, or building involved, which are not generally applicable to other land structures or buildings in the same district. Does anybody want to change their answer from the 5-foot setback?
No.
Okay. So we're all in agreement?
Yep.
Same reasoning?
Same reason.
Yes.
All right. Number 2, agree or disagree, the little interpretation of the provision of the zoning ordinance would deprive the applicants of the right commonly enjoyed by the other properties in the same district and the same zoning terms. The variance is necessary. Does anybody want to change their answer from the 5-foot setback?
No.
No.
And can we use the same rationale that we used on the 5-foot setback for the rationale on this one?
Yes.
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 Okay. Number 3, agree or disagree, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from the action of the applicant, they are not self-created. Does anybody want to change their answer from the 5-foot setback? Meaning that we all disagreed and said they was self-created.
So disagree.
Same reasoning?
Yes.
Okay. Agree or disagree, the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance. Does anyone want to change their answer? We all agreed to that one. And we get challenges of the street is what we said. Does anyone want to change that answer on this particular one?
Agree.
Agree.
Agree or disagree, the variance will not be an injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the general welfare. Does anybody want to change their answer from the 5-foot setback?
No.
Agree.
Number 6, agree
And
or
we can
disagree.
put neighborhood support on that. I don't know that we mentioned that on number 5.
We will do that, thank you.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree, the spirit of this ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, and substantial justice done. Does anybody want to change their answer from the first setback?
Agree.
Okay, so all 6 of us agree?
Yes.
Okay, I will do a motion. CBA case 24-735, this is to approve the lakefront setback. R1LF requires a 35-foot lakefront setback. The applicant is proposing a 30.42-foot setback on that part of the house. We're only going to be voting on that particular one right now. So we have a motion, we need a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion?
And it's 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Claiborne,
Yes.
Minoletti,
Yes.
Thorne,
Yes.
Pepper,
Yes.
Moretto,
Yes.
Rosowski,
Yes.
Is that everybody? Okay. All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is the 22.72-foot lakefront setback, provided the reconstructed new home. All right. Number one,
Agree.
does anybody want to change their answer from the previous two?
No.
No.
Okay, so we all can be in agreement. We will use the same rationale from the first two. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Try to speed this along here, but Leanne, if you need to do something different, let me know.
Nope, you're doing great as long as we're getting that down in the minutes, the reasoning, so, yeah.
Okay. Agree or disagree on number two? Is anybody going to change their answer from the first two setbacks we had? I can read it if you guys want me to.
No.
Okay, so we're going to put 6 agree, and we're going to use the same rationale that we use on the first two.
Yes.
Bless you for whoever did that. Agree or disagree, the special condition and circumstances do not result from the action of self-created. Are we all, again, in disagreement that they did create this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Agree or disagree, the granting of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance. Do we all agree with that still?
Yes.
Yes.
Same rationale?
Yes.
Yes.
Agree or disagree, the variance will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to general welfare. Do we all still agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Agree or disagree, the spirit of the ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, substantial justice done. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'll make a motion to approve ZBA case 24-735, R1-LF, lakefront setback at 22.72 based on 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Second, Brandon. Don't worry, though, you're going to give the next motion. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Minoletti?
Yes.
Dorn?
Yes.
Pepper?
Yes.
Moretto?
Yes.
Brzezowski?
Yes.
Claiborne?
Yes.
All right, last one. This is for the setback, for the 12.86-foot setback for the raised deck to propose the home. So let's go through our checklist. Does anybody want to change their answer of the first 3 that we did? This is just for the deck.
No.
We all in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Same rationale?
Yes.
Okay, number 2, little interpretation of the provision of zoning ordinance would deprive the applicant of the rights commonly enjoyed by other properties in the same district and the same zoning terms, the variance is necessary. Do we want to change our answers from the previous 3?
No.
And can we use the same rationale?
Yes.
Yes.
We're all in agreement with that? All right, agree or disagree, the special condition services do not result from the actions of the applicant, they are not self-created. Again,
Disagree.
they're creating this issue, do we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We agree that we disagree.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
All right, the grant of the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of this ordinance, do we all still agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Same rationale as the other 3. Variance will not be injurious to the neighborhood or otherwise detrimental to the general welfare, do we all agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think we can note too, they mentioned that they were willing to offer their home to our first responders for training.
I think that's wonderful that they would actually do that.
Above and beyond not being injurious to the neighborhood.
Just don't do it on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We already have enough fireworks.
Or the 3rd.
Or the third.
Yeah.
Um,
be something.
Agree or disagree, the spirit of this ordinance shall be observed, public safety secured, substantial justice done. Does anybody want to change their answer from the previous 3?
No.
No.
Nope.
All right, Patrick, you look like you are raring to go when it comes to giving me a great proposal here.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve ZBA case 24-735, section 1250.06A setbacks for the R1LF. Requires a 25-yard setback.
No, just stick with the 12.86.
Okay, and, well,
Just
Well-
basically start where it says lakefront setbacks and read from there.
Lakefront setbacks are provided to reconstruct a new home, and a 12.86-foot setback is provided to add a raised deck to the proposed home.
Perfect.
And I'll do that based on checklist items 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Excellent, great.
Second?
Second by Kathy. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Thorne,
Yes.
Tupper,
Yes.
Moreto,
Yes.
Kozowski,
Yes.
Layborn.
Yes.
Minaletti.
Yes. Okay, you're approved.
Thank you.
You may have to talk to the village about your pool,
Sure.
because we can't unfortunately discuss that yet, because you haven't really proposed to us. But you got a house.
Yeah.
Don't burn the other one down yet. So congratulations, welcome to the neighborhood. We look forward to the party. And give them a couple days to get paperwork and stuff together. I would say usually maybe up to a week to get your permit and stuff. And then, like I said, discuss in regards to the pool. And, you know, if you need to come back here, we'll have to go through the process again. Just for the pool, the house is good, okay?
Thank you.
Congratulations. And thank you for everyone who showed up tonight. We appreciate residents participating. All right, guys, new business. You're welcome.
Thank you. New terms. Or do we just, I don't care.
Somebody wants to,
Yeah.
you know, down the road, they haven't brought them up to me, so.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, we're still having an open meeting, so if you guys want to bring a conversation outside. What's his name?
Colleen.
Mike?
Colleen.
If you want to
guys
bring
get
any
outside?
conversation, we're still in an open meeting, though. Just out
you.
in the lobby or something, that'd be great. No, ma'am, you're perfectly fine. It's no big deal. Thank you so much for everybody coming tonight. All right, so new business. I don't have anything here, but from time to time, I do get stuff in the mail. I don't know if you guys do, for different seminars. If you guys want to take them, if anyone's interested, the village has information on them. I've gone to a couple. They're actually very informative. They're very long, but they're very informative, and I think you will get something out of it if you want to attend to something like that. We don't have a council person here, so I can't really answer in regards to council. I don't know of anything that's different going on. Next month, do we have anything for next month that you're aware of? Anything you've turned down? Made anybody angry yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
I'm
Well,
waiting,
give it a minute. It's happen. It'll happen.
I'm waiting, I believe tomorrow I might have something. Monday, they were making some changes on the one from last month.
On Shankin?
Yeah, Shankin. So
I think they got to have that in this week, though, don't they?
Yeah,
Or they're
like-
going to miss the window?
today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm gonna shoot for tomorrow. I'm gonna go in first thing and see if it's there, and then I'll know if there's anything for next month.
Okay, cool. So we may have a meeting next month, we don't know. Does anybody know that they cannot make it? That would be, if somebody want to throw a date if you had one.
21st.
May 21st.
Yes, May 21st. Does anybody know if May 21st is a problem date?
It is for me.
It is for
And
me.
it is for me too. Sorry. Yeah, that is going to be a huge problem for me. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. So it means we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We would technically still have 5. The person running it would be Bonnie. She'd be kind of chairing since she is still the secretary technically. So if we have a case, if one of you 5 can't make it, and I don't know about Mark, I haven't talked to him, I didn't know he wasn't going to be here today, then we would have to table that till June. But unfortunately, I cannot. I have 2 things that night. I have my daughter's a choir concert and a swim banquet, so sorry, I will not be here. Apologize for that.
We'll make sure that the administration knows to verify with
Okay.
members who's coming, so.
Yeah. So Aaron, you're for sure now?
I'm for sure no.
Okay, Kathy, your business?
It's the night of my son's Memorial Scholarship Award.
Then it's a for sure no, and it's the same with mine.
Yes.
It's,
To award.
I have to be at my daughter's choir concert because I have to take her. My wife is gonna be out of town, so, yeah, I'll be sleeping in the doghouse if I don't make it there. So hopefully we'll have enough. If not, we'll have to push it to June. It is what it is. Again, I don't have anything for council. Do you wanna talk about anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Great job by everybody tonight. I mean, this was a little bit more complex than we normally deal with when you have 4 different setbacks. That's a very challenging lot, and I think it's going to be a great house. We'll probably have to deal with the pool if they choose to do the pool. It's really going to be up to them because they don't fit the requirement. And then with the pool comes other issues too, whether they do a fence or whether they do a retractable cover.
Yeah.
Did they propose what they're doing with that yet?
No.
Okay. And that's something you'll have to deal with, not us.
Yeah,
So,
that was one thing I didn't, as far as, there's two lakefronts here, so it's hard to find a setback. I guess one part, there is a good setback of 25 feet, but the other part.
yeah, and you may research this to find out they don't have to come back in front of us. I'm not saying they do.
Yeah.
But based on what you had said, and I know this because I was debating on putting a pool in at our house, and I know the setback is 25 from the lakefront.
Yeah.
I looked
Setback.
it up just
So-
during the meeting, yeah.
And maybe,
So it's not anything y'all need to worry?
yeah,
yourself
if it
about?
comes back in front of us, we deal with it. If not, then it's not, so.
Sorry for pointing that out.
No, they
No.
didn't
No.
seem concerned. I don't think they were, it appeared they weren't really set, but I could be wrong on that anyway,
Well.
because they certainly didn't seem to.
Well, yeah, and, it's like the stakes being mismarked. I think I went out there, I'm sure you all did too. It's great that everything is marked so we can see it. And that's really what we want moving forward. The guessing game, sometimes we had to play with some of these folks that we didn't quite know what they wanted. Somebody, painted a small thing in the ground, the night of, and assumed we were going to come out the night of. It's good that all of this stuff is staked early enough to where if Kathy wants to go out 2 weeks ago and I want to go out tonight, we can all see the same information. So if anybody has anything else, let's discuss. If not, we'll just adjourn. Anything? All right, take a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
I will see you all in June, and some of you may see each other in May.